The universe has to balance itself. Get the peep shows back in Times Square, old people can walk safely 40 blocks away. I don't know. I'll probably get canceled for doing that joke, you know? How stupid is that cancel thing? They're literally running out of people to cancel. They're going after dead people now. They're trying to cancel John Wayne. It's like, yeah, dude, God did that 40 years ago. They're all up in arms. They're like, did you hear what he said in that interview in Playboy in 1970? Can you believe that? It's like, yeah. He was born in 1907. That's what these people sounded like. You never talked to your grandparents and brought up the wrong subject, and all of a sudden it went off the rails. Like, oh, grandma. Just keep making the cookies. Yeah, you don't bring up race or religion with your grandparents. You keep it simple. Anyway, I don't know. I guess my grandparents are older. I don't know. Plowing ahead. Plowing ahead. Let's talk white women here, shall we? Let's talk white women. White women, amazing your accomplishments over the last few years. I got to tell you, the way white women somehow hijack the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. Just to refresh your memory, the woke movement was supposed to be about people of color not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserved, finally making that happen. And it was about that for about 8 seconds.
Choose your hero.
And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. I don't know how they did it. I've never heard so much complaining in my life from white women. My life is so hard with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trash and white guys. The nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. Listen, I don't want to speak ill of my bitches here, okay? I don't. But let's go back in history here, okay? You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money. And occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to. Thank you. So, I haven't been in New York for about a year, you know. I was here last year. I was shooting a movie. Had a great time with Judd Apatow, Pete Davidson, and all the guys. Yeah, had a great time. And I hadn't been here in like 13 years, and I immediately noticed how extra crowded the city was. And I was getting all claustrophobic. I'm like, what's going on? How much are people not using safe sex and making all these babies, you know? So I finally walked up to this old New York door guy, and I was just like, dude, what's going on? What's with all these people here? And he was just like, oh, no, don't worry. He goes, it's June. He goes, it's Pride Month. And I'm like, what's that? Sir. You know, I'm 52. I never heard of it, right? They didn't have that when I was a kid. He goes, oh, it's Gay Pride Month. And I was just like, oh! Yeah. Dude, you know when you're just like stuck in the Matrix and you just can't, everything's just pressed up, you can't see anything? And then somebody gives you that little nugget of information that just pulls it back? It's like, why is it so crowded? It's Gay Pride Month. Oh, tank tops. 0% body fat. 2 guys kissing. Rainbow flags. Ah! I didn't know that. That's what I learned. The month of June is Gay Pride Month. That's a little long, don't you think? For a group of people that were never enslaved. How did they get all of June? Dude, black people were actually enslaved. They get February. They get 28 days of overcast weather. Sun goes down at 4 in the afternoon. Everybody's shivering. Nobody wants to go on the parade. Look, yeah. How about you hook them up with July? These are equator people. Give them the sun for 31 days. There's gay black people. They could celebrate from June 1st, June 31st, 61 days of celebrating. show for you guys, everybody. Jack White is here. It's going to be amazing. Please stick around. We'll be right back.
Something else we have in common, flying on the airlines. Flying on the airlines and listening to the airlines announcements and trying to pretend to ourselves that that's the way the English language ought to be spoken. Doesn't sound that way to me. Whole thing starts when you get to the gate. First announcement. We would like to begin the boarding process. Extra word, process. Not necessary. Boarding is enough. We'd like to begin the boarding. Simple. Tells the story. People add extra words when they want things to sound more important than they really are. Boarding process. Sounds important. It is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Burr. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. How are you? How's it going? Yes, nice to be here on such a fun week. I know. I don't want to hear it. I don't watch politics. So, we're going to keep it light. All right? There we go. All right. Well, I just got over the flu, which is fantastic. You know what I mean? Had it last month. Whenever you have the flu, or like COVID, you know, you always lay in bed and you're trying to, figure out who gave it to you. You know, just going through this Rolodex of people that coughed on you, sniffled near you, walked by an Asian or something. You try to fight it. They say on the internet, that's where all the disease comes from. I know who gave it to me. I sat next to a shoeless cowboy on an airplane. Guy had no socks or shoes on the whole flight. The whole flight, I'm sitting there looking at his dirty Jesus feet. And all I'm thinking is the next pandemic is growing in the bottom of his feet. And all I'm going to be is the next, patient number 2, whatever the next disease is, So, I'll tell you what kills me is I looked at the guy and all I'm thinking is, you know what? God made that guy. And he keeps making that guy. Like one mouth-breathing moron after another. Yet we still go to church on Sunday, and what do? We praise him. When is the constructive criticism coming? Dude, when's the last time you made a Gandhi? Somebody empathetic, So, my problem is I didn't get the flu shot, I'm old school. I kind of still do the vaccine thing, I know, some people like it, some people don't, I don't know. It's a weird thing, though. If you get it, what do? You side with the evil pharmaceutical companies. If you don't, then you're aligned with people who don't wear shoes on an airplane. All right, let's get to what you all want to talk about. All right, ladies, you're 0-2 against this guy. 0-2. All right, but you learn more from your losses than your wins. So, let's get into the game tape. All right, ladies, enough with the pantsuit. Okay, it's not working. Stop trying to have respect for yourselves. You don't win the office. On policy, You gotta whore it up a little. I'm not saying go full Hooters, but find the happy medium between Applebee's and your dad didn't stick around. All right, you all know how to get a free drink. Okay, and I know a lot of ugly women, feminists, don't want to hear this message. But just tease him a little bit. Make a farmer feel like he's got a shot. Swing a state over a little bit. I'll be honest with you, I am so psyched that this stupid election is finally over. It took forever. Yeah. Everybody knew who they were voting for 4 years ago. And then they just drag you through a year and a half of this stuff. Who was sitting there watching the debate, still not decided? two of the most polar opposite people ever. It's like, all right, let's see. What does the orange bigot have to say? How about the real estate agent that speaks through her nose? Oh, there's a point. This is so difficult. It's like they overlap. I just can't make up my mind. I'll be honest with you. I can't believe Trump didn't win this thing like 4 months ago. You know? I know that's weird for younger people to hear, but like when I was a kid, if you were running for president and you got shot and you didn't die, that was the end of the election. There was nothing you could say, right? Everybody would just be like, this guy's the man. He is the king. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I think the number one reason like Trump survived is all those herky-jerky movements that he does. You just can't like nail the guy down. I gotta be honest, the guy is a lunatic. I mean, he literally got shot and immediately jumped back up and started yelling in the direction the bullets were coming from, unarmed. That's not a sane human being. I would have been on the ground crying in the fetal position, like, all right, give me the truck. I don't want this job anymore. Just tell her she won. Tell her she won. But Trump's got all those weird, coming out. I think the guy couldn't get like a bead on him, And like right as he pulled the trigger, like Trump was just like, and Sleepy Joe, and the bullet went by his head. My favorite part of the campaign, though, was when Trump went to McDonald's. Wasn't that amazing? That's the only time I've ever seen that guy truly happy. Like, he was glowing. When he got behind the counter, it was like he was behind stage at like Springsteen or something. He's like, oh my God, this is like where they make the French fries. And he was sticking a couple of extra in one. He goes, hey, whoever gets this one's gonna be excited. It's like, oh my God, was that empathy? Of the people, Donald? It's like when the Grinch came down the hill, bringing the toys back, and his heart got a little bigger. All right, we'll end on something nice here. I fell asleep the other night. You ever fall asleep like watching TV? You like leave it on, you wake up at 3 in the morning, and whatever you're watching makes you feel like you're still dreaming. Yeah, I woke up at 3 in the morning. I swear to God, Shaquille O'Neal was selling me printer ink. Standing at 7 feet tall. Hi, I'm Shaquille O'Neal. Are you paying too much money for your printer ink? Every day, people come up to me and they say, I'm paying too much money for my print. He's holding a printer. It's like the size of a cell phone. People come up to me, I'm paying too much money. And I'm like, well, I have the solution. Dude, is there no end to that guy's credibility? I thought when he was selling Buicks, that was the end of it. It's laying in that little car, the mid-size Buick Century. This is the most comfortable car I have ever been in. He's got one foot out one window, the other foot out the other. If I was regular size, this is the car I would buy. It blows my mind. Doesn't he even have like $1 billion at this point? It's like, why are you still working? Take a weekend off, you 9-foot whore. Give somebody else a chance. All right, that's it. We got a great show. Stick around. McGee will be here. We'll see you in a minute. Thank you, thank you.
Something else we have in common, flying on the airlines. Flying on the airlines and listening to the airlines announcements and trying to pretend to ourselves that that's the way the English language ought to be spoken. Doesn't sound that way to me. Whole thing starts when you get to the gate. First announcement. We would like to begin the boarding process. Extra word, process, not necessary. Boarding is enough. We'd like to begin the boarding. Simple. Tells the story. People add extra words when they want things to sound more important than they really are. Boarding process. Sounds important. It isn't. It's just a bunch of people getting on an airplane. People like to sound important. Weathermen on television talk about shower activity. Sounds more important than showers. I even heard one guy on CNN talk about a rain event. Swear to God, he said, Louisiana's expecting a rain event. I thought, holy shit, I hope I can get tickets to that. Emergency situation. News people like to say, police have responded to an emergency situation. No, they haven't. They've responded to an emergency. We know it's a situation. Everything is a situation. Anyway, as part of this boarding process, they say, we would like to pre-board. Well, what exactly is that? What does it mean to pre-board? You get on before you get on? That's another complaint of mine. Too much use of this prefix pre. It's all over the language now. Pre this, pre that. Place the turkey in a preheated oven. It's ridiculous. There are only 2 states an oven can possibly exist in, heated or unheated. Preheated is a meaningless fucking term. It's like pre-recorded. This program was pre-recorded. Well, of course it was pre-recorded. When else are you going to record it? Afterwards? That's the whole principle of recording, to do it beforehand. Otherwise, it doesn't really work, does it? Pre-qualified, pre-planned, pre-screened. You know what I tell these people? Pre-suck my genital situation. And they seem to understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, as part of this pre-boarding, they say, we would like to pre-board those passengers traveling with small children. Well, what about those passengers traveling with large children? Suppose you have a 2-year-old with a pituitary disorder. You know, a 6-foot infant with an oversized head. The kind of kid you see in the National Enquirer all the time. Actually, with a kid like that, I think you're better off checking him right in with your luggage at the curb, don't you? Well, they like it under there. It's dark. They're used to that. About this time, someone is telling you to get on the plane. Get on the plane, get on the plane. I say, fuck you, I'm getting in the plane. Let Evel Knievel get on the plane. I'll be in here with you folks in uniform. There seems to be less wind in here. They might tell you you're on a non-stop flight. I don't think I care for that. No, I insist that my flights stop. Preferably at an airport. It's those sudden, unscheduled cornfield and housing development stops that seem to interrupt the flow of my day. Here's one they just made up. Near miss. When 2 planes almost collide, they call it a near miss. It's a near hit. A collision is a near miss. Look, they nearly missed. Yes, but not quite. They might tell you your flight has been delayed because of a change of equipment. Broken plane. And telling me to put my seat back forward. Well, I don't bend that way. If I could put my seat back forward, I'd be in porno movies. Then they mentioned carry-on luggage. First time I heard carry-on, I thought they were going to bring a dead deer on board. I thought, what the hell do they need with that? Don't they have the little TV dinners anymore? Then I thought, carry on, there's going to be a party. People are going to be carrying on the plane. Well, I don't care for that. I like a serious attitude on the plane, especially on the flight deck, which is the latest euphemism for cockpit. Can't imagine why they wouldn't want to use a lovely word like cockpit, can you? Especially with all those stewardesses going in and out of it all the time. There's a word that's changed, stewardess. First it was hostess, then stewardess, now it's flight attendant. You know what I call her? The lady on the plane. Sometimes it's a man on the plane now. That's good equality. I'm all in favor of that. Occasionally, they actually refer to these people as uniformed crew members. Uniformed, as opposed to that guy sitting next to you in the Grateful Dead t-shirt and the fuck you hat. Who's working on his 9th little bottle of Kahlua, I might add. As soon as they close the door to the aircraft, that's when they begin the safety lecture. I love the safety lecture. This is my favorite part of the plane ride. I listen very carefully to the safety lecture, especially that part where they teach us how to use the seat belt. Imagine this. Here we are, a plane full of grown human beings, many of us partially educated, and they're actually taking time out to describe the intricate workings of a belt buckle. Place the small metal flap into the buckle. Well, I asked for clarification at that point. Pardon me, over here, please. Thank you very much. Did I hear you correctly? Did you say place the small metal flap into the buckle, or place the buckle over and around the small metal flap? I am a simple man and do not possess an engineering degree, nor am I mechanically inclined. Sorry to have taken up so much of your time. Please continue with the wonderful safety lecture. Seatbelts. High-tech shit. The next thing they do, they tell you to locate your nearest emergency exit. I do this immediately. I locate my nearest emergency exit, and then I plan my route. You have to plan your route. It's not always a straight line, is it? Sometimes there's a really big fat fuck sitting right in front of you. Well, you know you'll never get over him. I look around for women and children, midgets and dwarfs, cripples, war widows, paralyzed veterans, people with broken legs, anyone who looks like they can't move too well. The emotionally disturbed come in very handy at a time like this. You may have to go out of your way to find these people, but you'll get out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Hart.
Thank you so much. God, it
这
feels
要
good
不
to
是
be
亲
back
眼
in New York, people. It feels so good to be back in New York. Honestly, I'm coming back a different man than I left. I'm engaged now. I'm about to get married, people. Yes. I'm about to get married. I told my lady, though, I said, babe, we can't get married till we get a new house. It's not that I don't like the house that we have now. I just don't like the area that we live in. See, I didn't want to be Hollywood, stay around all the Hollywood stuff, so I moved out to the suburbs. I messed around, moved around a bunch of wildlife, okay? Here's how I know that I live around some stuff that I'm not supposed to. When I first moved there, I'm walking my dog. I got a mini Doberman Pinscher, right? I'm walking my dog. While I'm walking my dog, out of nowhere, this old lady pokes her head out the window and goes, hey, you better watch your dog. Don't let them eat them like they did mine. I said, wait, what? First of all, who is them? That's the first thing. Second of all, where did you go? Like, she just left. So I started looking around the area. I noticed I live around some wild animals. I have mountain lions, rattlesnakes, coyotes, all types of wild spiders. Currently, I have a raccoon problem. Not raccoons. It's one raccoon. This raccoon's a bitch. I don't like this raccoon. Listen, I have glass doors in the back of my house. So I'm sitting in my living room. I can see out of my living room into my backyard. A raccoon walks up to the glass doors, but not like a raccoon should. He wasn't on all fours. Raccoon was on 2 feet. He's walking, right? Strolling. I'm not lying. He gets to the glass doors. He's looking. He's trying to look in the house. Here's what scared me. He put his hand on the glass and start doing this. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, raccoon is looking in the house. When he saw me, he started laughing. He's like, aha, aha. The raccoon started jiggling a lot, right? He's going, When he saw he couldn't get in, he pointed his fingers at me, he shot at me. He was like, bang, bang. And then he disappeared into the dark, so I'm scared. I'm scared as hell. My lady comes home. I say, babe, we gotta move. We can't stay in this house. A raccoon just tried to break in. He jiggled the handle. When he saw he couldn't get in, he shot at me twice. Bang, bang. My lady said, why do you lie so much? Like, what do you get out of lying? I said, who the hell makes up a lie about a raccoon jiggling a lock and going bang, bang in the house? She said, first of all, Kevin, I know you lying. You know how I know you lying? Because a raccoon can't jiggle a lock or go bang, bang, because a raccoon don't have no thumbs. I said, well, maybe the raccoon was doing this. You don't need thumbs to scare me. The bottom line is we got a thug raccoon running around outside. I said, look, this is why I don't like going outside. I said, this is why I don't like taking out the trash. Understand something. For me to take out the trash in my house, I gotta walk down the driveway. I don't have any lights in my driveway. It gets real dark in my driveway. The reason why I don't have any lights is because I turned down the option to get lights in my driveway because I thought the contractors were trying to take advantage of me because they knew that I had money. That's what I thought. To be honest with you, that's what I thought. He was like, Mr. Hart, gets pretty dark in his driveway. You want us to put some lights in here? I said, you don't think I know what you're trying to do? Huh? You don't think I know what you're trying to do? It's a driveway. You drive in, you drive out. What the hell I need lights for? I was wrong. I need lights. I can't see a damn thing. I don't like being in my driveway because it get real dark. And I don't like hearing animal noises when I can't see which animal it is. Hearing stuff like this, or like... I don't like that because when you get scared and you can't see, you just start negotiating. Like,
Prepare
hey,
for battle.
what do we got to do to make this right? Like, if it's money you want, it's money I'll give you. I don't know. I told my lady I'm not doing it anymore. I said what I'm gonna do is start making my son take out the trash. It's time for him to become a man around this house. He's 7 years old. He doesn't do enough. That's the beautiful thing about being a dad. You do what you want, when you want. I go upstairs, I wake my son up. I say, boy, get your behind up and get that trash out. Matter of fact, didn't I tell you to get the trash out? Complete lie. I know I never told him. The beautiful thing was seeing a confused look on my son's face. What? No, you never said that. You called me a liar? Get your ass out that bed and get the trash out. Private schools are messing my son up. Here's how I know. This is what my son said to me when he got up. All right. Let me get my flops. Your flops? Boy, if you don't get your black, white ass down these damn steps and get that trash. My son goes downstairs, grabs the trash, he goes outside. First thing he said before he walked outside was, Dad, it's dark. Can you come with me? I said, absolutely not. This is your journey. This is about you becoming a man, son. It's not about me. My son walks out there to take out the trash. I can tell when he got scared because he started looking around real fast. I can tell. He puts the trash in the trash can. He starts coming back. Out of nowhere, my son takes off running. He's running, right? I get scared because I don't know where my son is running from. I can't see what he's running from. Depending on what he was running from was going to determine if I opened up the door for him when he got back. I would hate for it to have been something crazy because if it was, I would have just put my hand on the glass and said, son, touch the glass one last time. More importantly, that's my biggest fear. My biggest fear is seeing somebody I love get attacked by an animal that I can't beat. My lady, she got mad at me. She goes, hey, babe, so you telling me if you saw me get attacked by an animal, you wouldn't help me? I said, well, it depends on what it is. If it's a raccoon, I'll come kick the raccoon. But if it's a mountain lion, you on your own. She said, are you serious? Like, you wouldn't come help me? I said, I'm dead serious. You gotta understand I'm being honest with you right now. She said, well, if I saw you get attacked by a mountain lion, I would come out there and help you. I said, that's sweet, but I think it's stupid. I don't think you're thinking the situation through. Here's why. If you get attacked by a mountain lion, you're not coming out of that attack the way that you went into it. Something's gonna be different. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't want to save her because I don't know if I want to be with the woman that survived a mountain lion attack. Hey, you can call me a jerk. You can think I'm a jackass. Let's say he get her good. Let's say he like bite all this off, like this piece and her shoulder. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. I can't be with no woman that don't have no shoulder. I can't be with a woman that can't do this. I can't be with you. I can't be with you. If you can't go, I don't want to be with you. Do you know how many times you use your shoulders in a day? Think about it. If you don't have a shoulder, you can't be cold. Ain't nobody gonna believe you. If you shivering with one arm, What's wrong with you? It's freezing out here. You lying. You only using one arm. If we get pulled over by the cops and you only got one shoulder, we going to jail. You know why? Because ain't no cop gonna believe no person with one shoulder. When he says, hey, you know why I stopped you? And you go, no. Okay, get your drunk ass out the car. Hey, I'm in New York City and I'm excited about my show. We got a great show for you. Sia is here, everybody. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Hart.
I'm sorry, guys. You have no idea the feeling that's going through my body right now. I'm in New York City. Y'all gotta clap again. I'm too excited. Oh, man. It feels good. I gotta be honest. It feels good to be back in the city. It's been some time. Last time I was here, I had a little tragic situation. I had a run-in with a homeless guy, people. Yeah, I'll go on and tell you about it, because I know you want to know what happened. So, I'm at Panera Bread. True story, okay? I'm at Panera Bread. I'm about to eat my sandwich. I got 2 pieces of sandwich right in front of me, right? It's a Reuben. I'm ready to dig in. I look up. It's a white guy sitting 2 chairs in front of me. Out of nowhere, this homeless guy comes up, puts his palm on this white guy's sandwich. I see it with my own 2 eyes. Literally, palms his sandwich. Now I'm looking. I'm like, oh my God, he just palmed this man's sandwich. This homeless guy better run, right? The white man gets mad. He looks up. He screams. He's like, dude, what is your problem, right? Now I'm thinking, this is the time the homeless guy better get out of here. This is about to get real. Homeless guy does not break character. Stands there, staring right at the guy, locks eyes with him. He never moved his hand. His palm is still on his sandwich. The white guy got mad. He said, well, just take it. Take the sandwich, man. I don't even want it anymore. Which was a good decision, because you don't want to eat a sandwich after a homeless guy had his palm on it. Like, literally, you're just asking for a disease at that point. So, you also got to go through thoughts in your mind, okay? Any man that has the balls to put his hand on your sandwich has obviously been doing something like this for quite some time. You don't just start out with your palm on somebody's sandwich. You got to work up to that. You start off by asking, hey, man, you gonna eat the other half of that sandwich? I don't know. What about now? Finger on your sandwich. Okay? Then after that, you get bolder. You say, you know what? Let me do 2 fingers. Add a thumb to it. Then, eventually, you say, you know what? I don't even have to ask. I'm gonna put my palm on somebody's sandwich and force them to give it to me. So I'm looking at this guy, right? Now, the white guy done said, take the sandwich. He's got the sandwich in his hand. He's walking away. He looks at me. I'm sitting there. I got both halves of my sandwich on my plate. I get scared. I panic. I put them both in my mouth, right? I didn't want to be next, but the scary thing is, half of the sandwich was hanging out my mouth. It was too much. So now I get to thinking in my head, I'm panicking. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna come up, he's gonna try to grab the sandwich out of my mouth. That's the next step in his crime spree. I know it is. Now I'm scared because I'm like, oh my God, what if he flicks my lip when he tries to grab it? Do you have any idea how terrifying that is? A homeless guy's hands flicking your lip? Let me tell you something. That's just like the outbreak monkey touching your lip. Because you don't know what the outbreak monkey has. Same thing as a homeless guy. You don't know what all you can get. You touch your lip and flick it, it could be a subtle bump, or it could be a full-fledged herpes. You don't know what you're gonna end up with. So I panicked, I ran, I got out of there. Don't judge me, it's what I thought I should do. Haven't been back to New York since. So now, I come back. I'm invited back to host SNL. Huge, best opportunity ever. Here's why I'm a little pissed off. Not really pissed off, that's the wrong word, just I felt some type of way. Back in the day, I actually auditioned for SNL. True story, people. I didn't get it. No, they passed on me. Which I'm fine about now. You know, I don't have an attitude towards them. I just feel like because it's so long ago that I can, you know, I'm over it and I shouldn't think about it. You're talking about something that happened 6 or 7 months ago, 22 days, you know, like 6 hours. Actually, at 5 o'clock is when they told me I didn't get it on that day. Whatever, that's fine. I'm over it. I just felt like I gave a great audition. That's what pissed me off. Like, guys, you have no idea how good I was. I wish I had the tape to show you. I don't. But what I do know is the impressions that I did. See, I got here, they said, Kevin, do you do impressions? I was like, to be honest with you, no, I don't, but I'm so talented, I can develop some right now, okay? So, I came up with 3 impressions. This is a true story, people. My first impression was Avery Johnson. I found out that white people didn't know who Avery Johnson was. Yeah, because when I did the impression of Avery Johnson, they was like, who's that? And I was like, Avery Johnson. And they was like, doesn't ring a bell. And I was like, well, if you knew who he was, you know how good that impression was. Because what I did was I looked at him and I was like, pass me the ball. You know, at the time, he was a coach. They didn't get it. I said, whatever, fine. I'll move to my next one because it's stronger than the first one. So, my next impression was Robert De Niro. Now, here's the thing. I'm an artist, people, so I didn't want to do what everybody else did. Everybody else that did Robert De Niro, they all do the same thing. They talk like him and they say the same lines. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to use expressions. Now, to show you what I did, I'm actually going to turn to a close-up camera because this gets a little dramatic. I need the people at home to understand how serious it was. This was my Robert De Niro. And I held it. I held it the whole time. Now, here's what pissed me off. When I was done that impression, nobody in the room clapped, which I felt like that was racist. I mean, it was really racist. But whatever, I didn't say nothing. I just kept it moving. I felt like that was racist. I mean, it was really racist. But whatever, I didn't say nothing. I just kept it moving. This was an audition. I want to do my best. So I went to my last impression. This was my closer. My closer was Denzel Washington. The reason why I chose Denzel, I'm black, Denzel's black. It was a perfect combination. And at the time, Denzel had Training Day out. This was a huge movie. So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do an impression of Denzel in Training Day. So I said, okay, guys, here it goes. This is my impression of Denzel Washington. So I held my hands like this, and I was like, chum, 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 Training Day, bitch! And I'm dead serious. That was my impression. And I found out that that wasn't even a line in the movie. Denzel never said that. Yeah, what happened was some black guy was like, dude, Denzel never said that. And I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. He did say that. He's like, no, he didn't. I was like, yes, he did. He said, no, he didn't. I said, yes, he did. And what happened was I spent the rest of my audition time arguing with this black guy in the room. So at the end of it, I had to walk out. So I was like, whatever, fine, I'll move on with my life. I get to call the host SNL. The first question they ask me when I come in the room, they say, Kevin, we're so happy to have you here. Look, we want to cater the show to you. Do you do any impressions? I said, you bet your ass I do impressions. Hey, listen, we have a wonderful show for you tonight, people. Macklemore and Ray Lewis are here. Stick around. We'll be right back.
They scare you into not doing things. I don't have any tattoos. I think that's because my dad scared me into not having. You have a tattoo and you'll find out. That's how you get hepatitis. Do you want hepatitis? No? Then don't get a fucking tattoo. You have any tattoos, Al? No, you know why? Because you're from the generation, I'm not saying I'm from your generation, but my generation who emulated yours a little bit. Your generation, am I lying? You had to earn tattoos. You never just went and got one blindly, did they? No, when I was a kid, the only people I saw with tattoos were old white guys, and they would have like a fucked up looking anchor on their forearm. Wouldn't even look like an anchor, it would look like a check mark, you know what I mean? Like he got it when they hit some rough water, it was like, oh, and then... When I was a kid, tattoos meant something. Now it doesn't mean shit. Everybody goes and gets one. It equals nothing to me anymore. People are like, why'd you get a tattoo? It's just to express my individuality. No. No, you're a fucking idiot. That's what happened. And you decided to be just like everyone else. When I was a kid, you used to be able to look at somebody and you could tell by what their tattoo was and where it was, what kind of person they were. Like if you saw somebody with a neck tattoo, you were like, that's a crazy son of a bitch right there. And they'd always have something crazy on their neck. FTW, fuck the world. And then they would have a teardrop tattoo, you know? What's a teardrop for? I killed a motherfucker. And I couldn't cry my own tears. Don't you quit on me. Now it doesn't matter where the tattoo is or what it is. You got these little emo kids with skinny jeans and life is difficult tattooed on their neck. And real tears running down his face. Why are you crying? People get crazy. They do the sleeve now. I got a sleeve. I did my whole arm. That's cool right now. In 10 years, you're going to regret it. It's like having an Ed Hardy shirt on for the rest of your life. Sorry, Lebanese people. No worries, mate. Harry doesn't like Ed Hardy. You gotta think, I see your tattoo, sweetheart. I see it. You look upset that I'm talking about tattoos, but what is that on your arm? What did you get? A nautical star that says, dream big, work hard. When you say it out loud, do you see how ridiculous that is? Do you see? I'm just saying, maybe on the way to the tattoo shop, you should have said it out loud a few times. What, you have 5 tattoos? What was your first one? You've got one on your back. What is it? It's what? A musical note? Is it on your back or is it a tramp stamp? What is it? Is it a, you should put it like right at the base of your back and call it, like, put a bass clef, you know, like. Is it a treble clef, bass clef? What is it? Treble clef. Are you a singer? Or do you just want guys to whistle when they're fucking you? Is that like I don't understand. What was your first tattoo? Was the treble clef on your back? Good. Like one day you just looked in the mirror and you were like, fuck. My back is boring. It needs a soundtrack. Women are the worst with this shit, because they don't think. They always put these little corny sayings all over them, and then... Women start with the cute tattoo, don't they? What'd you get? I got a dolphin on my ankle. You gotta think about the future. When you're 80 years old, that dolphin's gonna look like a can of tuna. That treble clef's gonna look like a fucking teardrop on your ass. Your nautical compass is gonna be all out of whack. It used to point north, now just everything goes south. What does it say? You gotta think about the future. Nobody thinks about getting old anymore. When I was your age, how old are you? 19? What the fuck? You haven't even had skin long enough. At least have skin for at least 20 years before you start fucking it up, you know what I mean? Because again, you're young, you're not thinking about the future. I'm glad I never got any tattoos, because after 40, your skin doesn't snap back the way it does right now. Like your skin after 40 is literally like finding your favorite pair of underwear from like 5 years ago. And you're, oh my God, I still have these, and you pull the waist and it goes and doesn't snap back, you know? And you're like, wow, my favorite underwear is now my favorite dusting cloth. This is perfect, you know? You gotta think, I see, buddy, you got a sleeve, you got all kinds of weird shit going on over there. What is that? What do you got there, other than no arm left? What happened? What was your first tattoo there? Tony Tats? What is that? A dragon, because you have bad breath, or? What made you get a dragon? You're not, obviously not Chinese or something? You like dragons? You know they're not real, right? I like dragons. I have a bunch of them. And then you were like, you know what? I got this dragon. And another arm. And then you just went fucking ham on the other arm, didn't you? Where are your parents from? Because you're obviously not a white guy. What? Syria. One guy clapping. No, there was mosquito. I had to... You know your Syrian parents don't fucking appreciate your arms right now. Back home, son, we would have cut off your arms. You look like Sharmuta. Cut off your arms. I see yours too, buddy. You guys aren't thinking, are you? How old are you? 35. And how long ago did you get that dragon? 5 years ago. At 30, you were like, you know what? This arm needs a fucking dragon. And I never want to see this arm again. The Asian guy beside you has a tattoo. Do you have a dragon? Because that would make more sense to me. You have a dragon? Yeah. Yeah, he does. Show us. Where's the dragon? He fucking has a dragon. You should have like a tank or something, you know what I mean? Like something that describes where you're from, you know? Like a fake set of bombs strapped to your arm, you know what I mean? Like, even the Asian guys, they're so stupid. Air guy has a dragon. Hey, dragon arm! Just saying, think about the future. Why do you have a dragon? Were you born year of the dragon, or? Dragons are more in tune with you being Asian, so I'm not really mad at you for having that, you know? Women get cute with the tattoos. They always put the sayings and shit on them. There was a girl at one of my shows, I go, what do you got? She goes,
I got one here, and I got one here, and I got stuff on my back.
I go, I got stuff on my back too, but I wax it off. I go, what do you got on your back? She goes,
Scriptures. I have scriptures written all over my back.
she had scriptures written all over her back. Who is that for? The guy fucking her, that's who it's for! I don't know about you, but the first time I bone this chick, I don't want to flip her over and the Bible staring me in the fucking face, you know what I mean? Yeah, baby, turn over. What the fuck? Oh my God, I'm gonna come. Give me your face. Why are you coming in my face? Because I don't want to come on Jesus.
You and Will have such great chemistry
Yeah, man.
together. And it just seems like a natural, it's one of those movies where you see the poster
Yeah.
and you think, all right, these two guys, hilariously funny, I want to see that. I want to see these two guys together.
First of all, that's what I thought when I saw the poster, even though I was in the poster. I was like, I want to see this.
Yeah.
I like these guys.
I want to see what happens.
Yeah, what's going to happen in this film? I completely know what's going to happen, but I still thought, like, this is going to be something cool. You know what it is, man? Will, first of all, amazing guy. I could say in the top 2 most amazing people that I've ever had the opportunity to work with.
Thank you very much.
Well, no.
Yeah, I got what you were saying. Top 2 people you've worked with.
No,